And that's the powerful thing about digital footage is that just roll. You never know what fire message we go capture. The thing about being a business owner though, is that most people don't have any type of retirement, but these are also the same type of people that, because they're making money in their business, they're so caught up, they're like, oh, I don't have time to learn this stuff. But they probably need to learn it more than anybody, because certain businesses you're doing, you're not gonna be able to do when you're 60, 70, 80 years old. So let's talk about the B quadrant right quick. Right? B quadrant, you're a business owner, congratulations, you made it, or so you think, right? I'm in the B quadrant, I run a business, I run a few small businesses, right? But that's just what they are, small businesses. So we're talking about the cash flow quadrant. E is an employee, S is self-employed, I is investor, and then B is business owner. So we already talked about the E. If you haven't watched that one, check that one out. The E and the S, they're pretty much the same people, right? This person works a job, this person owns their job, right? So they're kind of in the same boat, and then the wealth is created on this side. But here's the thing with the business owners that I want to talk about. I don't really want to focus on like, oh, here's the downside of being a business owner. Here's what I want to just think about for a second as a business owner. Typically, most businesses are small businesses. And so here are some inherent challenges that comes with the small business. So challenge number one, the owner typically doesn't have any retirement. So that's typically a challenge for most small business owners. Some small business owners are building personal brands. You got this era of the digital economy where people are influencers and all this stuff, but the issue with that is you can't typically sell that. Like once you pass away, you can't be like, well, my son's the influencer now. Like, no, people bought into you. You were a personal brand, right? Perhaps you got like a mom and pop store or whatever the case may be. Typically, you can't sell that. And even if you could, you typically can't sell it for enough that it's like, oh, we're gonna get 10 million for this and just live off of it for the rest of our life, right? And so most small business owners, this is a big problem. Forget the fact that some of them don't have health insurance. Most of them do not have a retirement. Most business owners that I talk to, I say, what's your exit strategy? Like, what are you doing to, once this is over, like, what does 10 years look like? What does 60-year-old you look like? And they're like, I don't know. I'm hoping something will happen or come up while I can. And so most business owners don't have any retirement. And so it's more important than ever that they take control of their financial future. Now, if they don't have any retirement, what else don't they? There's no 401k, right? There's no pension. And so you don't have the benefit of this guy. If they can make it 40 years, which is not happening a lot these days, but if they can make it 40 years, some of them have a pension, but for a business owner, no pension. If this person can contribute long enough, which most of them aren't even contributing to their 401k, but at least their company is matching, right? Your company is matching. The challenge for a business owner is you don't have an exit strategy to retire. You don't have a 401k or matching because it's you matching. You are the company. So you're paying yourself, then you're paying into your retirement plan if you have one, but then your company's paying into it as well. So that's 3 times the money coming out of your company trying to go back into this 401k type plan. And most people don't have that type of income. Most people are living check to check, even as business owners sometimes, right? And then there's no pension. There is no, okay, at the end of 40 years, you're guaranteed this amount until you pass away. And so the challenge is you may be successfully currently generating income here, but you still have to figure out a way to funnel money down to the I quadrant, right? And if you're like me, I went to the banks. I talked to the financial planners, and I'm just gonna be real, I was disappointed. It was just the, put $100 away or put as much as you can away every single month. And No, they couldn't really explain to me how the fund worked or how they was generating income. And then when I looked at it, it was just like a mutual fund. It was just a basket of stocks. And so here's the thing. If you were smart enough to build a business, if you had the grind and you understood how to run a business and you're running it successfully, the same skills that are used here are the same skills that you can use here to analyze companies that are doing better than you and on a bigger scale than you and that are publicly traded companies, that you can look at their business system, read their financial reports and start to make educated decisions on how to move your money into some of those companies and get a greater return. Because people always think, I got to hand it over to somebody. I don't know how to do that, or I need to call someone smarter than me. You're smart if you were able to build a successful B. Those same skills are used right down here to pick great companies. And I think sometimes we discount what we know, or we don't give ourselves enough credit. I'm not smart enough. Or the other challenge here with business owners is what? This is the one I hear the most. I would invest, but I don't have the time, right? And so then I'm gonna question, are you truly a business owner? Because if you're a business owner, you should be able to pull back from the day-to-day operations and the business should continue to run without you. So what did you build that you can't take some time out and figure out how to get in the I quadrant, especially when these are the challenges and the headwinds that you go face? And you're not gonna face these today. And I think that's where some of the business owners get confused. They think, I'm doing good today. No, the challenge is 20, 30, 40 years from now when you're like, what'd you do with all that money you made? Like, I spent it, I paid taxes. Hopefully you paid taxes. But most people weren't contributing to their retirement. And again, they don't have a 401k to match. They don't have a pension. And you really aren't gonna have time when you're 50, 60 and you actually need the money. And now you need to actually take calculated risks. Now you're saying you can't. Because number one, you don't have the money. Maybe your business isn't making the money it used to make. And so what I prescribe is that while the getting is good right here, you're bringing in income, you got extra money that you potentially don't need to live off of right now. This isn't the time to go get the boat, get a bigger house. You're probably already in a decent house, driving a decent car. This is the time to take a step back and say, how can I create time to learn this game, right? And then once I get this game up and running, which is the investment game, I can use the investments to buy the boat, the car, or whatever, but at least I got this game up and running and I've now satisfied some of the requirements over here that are gonna be a challenge and a headwind for me down the road as a business owner. So if you're a business owner, you really need to be learning how the market works. And if you think about it, that's how most Ponzi schemes get started. Because business owners and people making money, they typically are willing to give their money to someone that they feel is doing better than them or investing better than them. And they're willing to write big checks and just turn the money over. And I don't know how it works. I got a guy, I got a girl, right? But they don't actually know how it works until you look up and you find out this celebrity got swindled, or this person got taken for their money, or this pro basketball player found out that their financial person was cheating them. Because what? They never made the time, right? Same thing with business owners. You gotta make the time. It's not just good enough for you to just turn it over to somebody. And even if you're gonna turn it over to somebody, which is not a bad idea, I think it's a bad idea when people turn it over to somebody to invest it for them when they don't know how it works, so they don't even know how to pick a good financial person. They don't even know how to have a good conversation with their financial planner because they know nothing about the game, know nothing about the industry and how it works. So don't be that guy, don't be that girl, don't be that business owner. Find some time to come down here to the I quadrant and learn how this all works, because you will have to face retirement someday. You will have to create your own 401k and match. There's no pension. We just scratch that out. And you will have to make time at some point, if you don't today, to figure out how to solve those two issues that you 100% will face. as a business owner. In fact, you're gonna face it as a self-employed as well, and even as an employee. So for the employee, again, has the benefits of their company matching and possibly offering them a pension if they're a government employee or something like that. So make the time, because you're gonna need it later, trust me.